Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Tuesday, May 9th. Doing this one day earlier than usual. Normally I do these Sunday and Wednesday, but I know I will be busy tomorrow here in Toronto. And with what happened in the last 48 hours since I've done the last video, figured this is a perfect chance to get this video out. If something weird happens tomorrow and I'm free earlier in the afternoon, maybe I'll be able to put out another video. Also, I am going to keep this one to 1 hour like I did the last video. And I think it's better. So I'll also try to talk through the markets faster. I'm also going to try and talk through your questions faster. I will have to scroll through the chat. I'm not sure I have any assistance today to help compile questions. Let's just, one more administrative note. Tomorrow night, if you are here in Toronto and you want to come out to dinner with us, there is a meetup posted. It's a Bitcoin Bay meetup, and it's just going to be a few of us. Looks like there's already about 30 people confirmed to go. It's a Vietnamese place. It's called Pearl King. Come out, we'll have some dinner, and we'll talk, because I didn't get to speak at the meetup yesterday. I wasn't on the scheduled speaker list. But if you go to Twitter, and I got to ask one question to Alex Tapscott, and this was my first ever introduction to Alex Tapscott. I'm completely not familiar with his work, nor I guess his dad, the more famous VC. So the first time I ever heard him speak was at this conference. And I know he wrote a book that I never read about blockchain. And to me, the guy is, I mean, he's probably a good VC guy. That's probably his specialty. To me, it felt like a salesman standing in front of the room. And I got to ask one question and check it out and see what you think. Personally, I'm not too impressed. I mean, I don't think he fully understands what a blockchain is and what a blockchain is good for. But these are the people that write books. So, hey, to each their own. I'm sure he's making good money, and I just a guy that does videos. So, but check that out. And again, I already mentioned the meetup. All right, let's jump right onto the markets. Here's the S&P 500. So the last time I shot this video, I did know that Macron was going to win the French election, but I did not know how the market was going to react to it. So I did throw on this bullish trade up here. And it looks like this bullish trade is still in there. It's down a little bit, but the stop loss is very tight. So, I'm going to let it see, because it is hanging around the double top for the third day in a row. So I think it's going to pop. It feels like it's going to pop to the upside. Just waiting for one more catalyst. I don't know what that catalyst is going to be, but I have no reason to fear downside in the market yet, other than potentially the sell in May and go away tradition, where the market generally pulls back in May. So which is why there is a very, very tight stop right on this bullish trade. Here is the weekly chart. And also here, we have the double top. And again, the downside didn't actually materialize, but the downside trade was never actually entered. So now we're looking at the upside, and we're sitting at this double top. And now we just wait for a catalyst to pop it all the way up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the market, free up some space, and we're not going to look back at that. Here's the daily gold chart, and man, gold is just falling apart. If I'm looking bullish at the stock market and I'm waiting for a catalyst to drive the market up, at the same time, I'm looking at a catalyst, the same catalyst, to drive gold down. And here's a really rough part, right? Like here is your RSI and MACD are already making lower lows, but your price is still higher than it was at this previous low. And so again, everything is bearish. These moving averages are having a problem crossing. And if I zoom in on that, by some miracle, the golden cross did not happen. And if the price continues to go down right here, this golden cross will not happen. They look like two parallel lines right now. And this, again, looks fairly bearish for gold. So on the daily chart of gold, it's straight up bearish. I kind of feel a little stupid not throwing a bearish trade on gold, but I was just busy mostly with like the Bitcoin stuff. So I didn't keep an eye on it carefully, okay? Here's the weekly chart of gold, and it looks worse than the daily chart of gold because the weekly chart of gold has all this room for momentum to go down. Your RSI is now below the midpoint line of 50. Your MACD is going to cross tomorrow, no matter what happens. Not tomorrow, by end of week, actually. And this divergence is looking significant. And like I said, with each break of support, gold becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. And the technical picture on the weekly gold is not looking good. Not looking good at all. All right, let's close gold. All right, US dollar. I'm going to do a couple of things, actually, because somebody else hit me up for a little consulting session, and we went over a couple of charts, created some new charts, and I'll share them with you guys today. So this way, it's kind of like if one person wants to hit me up for consulting and we make some charts, you know, everyone, I think it's fair that everyone should benefit. And that person won't mind because now he gets another chance to listen to me talk about the same chart. And everybody kind of benefits. So there you go. And here's the US dollar. So I didn't even realize that as foreign currencies were dropping, like the Canadian dollar, and I'm here and it's kind of good. And euro was kind of bounced a little bit. But the US dollar hasn't been doing too well lately. So the US dollar has actually been dropping. I haven't looked at this chart in weeks, maybe even like over a month. But when I opened this chart up this morning, I had this divergence in place, and I probably had it as a caution sign. But we've now fallen to the 50-week moving average on the DXY, which is the US dollar composite. And I think it's time to bounce for the US dollar. And again, I'm waiting for a catalyst. I'm waiting for all these catalysts to pop the stock market to the upside, to pop the dollar to the upside, to drive gold to the downside, and start to drive the interest rate higher. Because when the stock market pops to the upside, the Federal Reserve will have absolutely no choice but to raise interest rates, causing all kinds of havoc in emerging markets. And I'll talk about that in the future. So this divergence is still, you know, relevant, but I think this divergence has already mostly played out, and it's a weekly chart, it's a long-term chart, and I think the dollar is going to go back to former glory here. So, oh, what happened here? Are we still good? Are we still live? Yeah, I think we're still live. Let's hope we're still live. So let's see how many viewers I got. Nice, 120 viewers. Thank you, guys. Also, I thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. A bunch of people came out at the event yesterday that knew me, that watched my videos. Great. I always like meeting people that follow my work. It's excellent. So this is beautiful. I mean, I speculatively threw on the euro short trade, thinking that worst case scenario, Macron will win. It'll pop a little bit, and then you double or triple down And I didn't even get a chance to double or triple down. And this trade is now positive, and this trade is in the money. So I don't even think it's necessary to double or triple down. But what you could do right here is lower your stop loss, because now you know how much risk to take on. Because remember, when I put this trade on, I had no idea how high the bounce in euro would be if Le Pen lost. But clearly, Le Pen losing was fully priced in to the price of the euro. And after Macron won, it only went up a smidge, and now I think it's over. So I think this gap is going to close. Maybe I will double down or triple down on this trade. I just don't think the euro has much life at all. So I don't even need to go up that high. I can probably, where are we here? 109 is 109 is where the trade entered. And the candle looks like 110. So we can probably do like 111. Let's see what that looks like. Even that's too high. We can even shrink that down. 105. How's that looking? And even that's too high. So it's, yeah, there you go. Very tight stop loss, because at this point, that's it. This is a bearish engulfing candle on the, excuse me, guys. It's too far away from the mute button at the moment because I'm remotely on my laptop. And so, yeah, so there you go. You have a bearish engulfing weekly candle. And let's see what happens. Let's see if the week closes. If the week closes weaker than we are right now, then I think the fat lady starts to sing, and there goes your euro. So I'm gonna save those changes. And here's the British pound against the euro. This trade was already a double down, and it's a double down trade, and a very tight stop on the double down. And boom, I'm very comfortable with this trade. If we start making new lows, this will become a triple down trade, because I mean, it's the pound is going to be, I think, is going to do great against the euro. All right, close the US dollar. So another thing I talked about this morning was the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. So here's the daily chart of the Aussie dollar, and it's not looking too good. I don't really see anything here. So on this daily chart, what one could have said was that, and I thought I did that. Maybe I did that on the weekly chart already. I did that on the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, so the daily chart corresponds to this area right here. And so you had lower lows, but your RSI was, you know what? I'm wrong. Let's not even do that. Let's delete that. No, that's not even divergence. That's more confirmation than divergence. Look at your MACD, it went lower, and your RSI went a smidge lower. What I looked like divergence to me for a second actually wasn't. So there you go. And now we're heading down. And if we can't stop right here at around 7.3, and we get down here, that's a double bottom. That's a daily double bottom. And now if we drop to the weekly, you do have this trend line. So if the Aussie dollar can't bounce right here, it becomes a bit of an issue. So yeah, here's the interesting part, right? So you can draw a horizontal resistance, and you can also draw, you know, a bit of a declining resistance. And if we can bounce right here off the trend line, we can start to create this half ascending triangle, half symmetric triangle. It's just weird triangle that leans bullish, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bullish, but also I'm totally biased because I think the US dollar is going to do great. So is the US stock market, and I think a lot of capital will exit Australia and New Zealand and a lot of these countries. Australia has serious tax problems, like they're overtaxing like crazy. And then they go after their like biggest companies like Rio Tinto. It's just bad. Like, why the hell would anybody want to start a company there? I mean, I know it's a nice country. I mean, there's still reasons to start companies in countries like US, but when you have countries with, you know, a good court system and a good law and order and minimal bribery requirements, I don't mean like, I know there's bribery requirements with like, you know, bureaucracy, but bribery requirements with bureaucracy are very different than bribery requirements with, you know, straight up gangsters that are gonna come and shoot. So, and yes, I know the government can do that also, but it's still different. But so there are reasons to start your companies in the first world over the third world. But within the first world, you want to start your companies in places where you have the most advantages. And if the Trump goes through with his with lowering taxes, oh man, everybody's going to try and start a company in the US. Why would you start a company in Australia? So I don't see that much prospect. So here's your last level of support on the weekly level. And then if we go down, here's that daily double bottom I talked about in this chart. Right here, down here. And then after that, well, you're going to have one of these. At around right below 0.7. So that could end, could be rough. Could be rough. So let's, I'm not really too optimistic. And we're back below the 50-day moving average. We had a little bounce. You know, we got way overextended below the 200-week moving average. Basically, the Australian dollar, almost done. The Australian dollar, there's a little fork right. You know, you put a fork in her right here. Once you had the death cross, it was over. The weekly chart of the Aussie dollar. Once you had the death cross in late 2013, things kind of got ugly. And the golden cross, you know, back in 2010 did a good job. So yeah, so here it is at 62, double bottom. This was the, I guess, the crash, the 2008 crash. And the dollar did well. I mean, look, when the world had a problem, I mean, the entire world kind of crashed with the US market and everyone ran to the dollar. That's why look at the Australian dollar. It fell from parity, lost 40% of its value against the US dollar. And so you can see that everything is kind of going rough for foreign markets. If the US economy does well, money leaves Australia, goes to the US, Aussie dollar falls. If the global economy crashes, people again run to the dollar for safety, the Aussie dollar crashes. No one's going to want the commodities. So there's just no prospects here. I mean, if you're working and getting paid in Australian dollars, I would hedge myself. I mean, I wouldn't want that salary. I would want to immediately convert it. Like I would ask for my salary in Bitcoin maybe, and like immediately convert it. Can only imagine what Bitcoin is priced in these currencies. Like I'm here in Canada, one Bitcoin is like $2,300 Canadian. It's like, whoa. I'm sure it's the same thing, $2,300 Australian dollars. All right, so enough on Australia, but thank you, client who called in and wanted to create some charts on the Australian dollar. All right, let's go ahead and save and close these. All right, 20 minutes in, let's talk about Bitcoin. Here it is. Here's the weekly chart. Let me just double check with my cell phone. That's where we are at the price. We're right at 1750. I hope this is moving. We're right at 1750. We are a smidge away from all-time highs again that we hit yesterday. Geez, I mean, it's starting to look exponential, but it's not exponential yet. I mean, we had exponential in 2013 twice. This was a bigger exponential run right here, and then this was a crazy week. So if this week starts to break 2000, it's possible that we're going to pull back, okay? And look, the RSI is still going up. I'm going to delete this thing. The MACD is still going up. I mean, we're going up. I'm not going to call a top until I see a top. I'm not calling for a top here yet. On a weekly chart, there is nothing. Let me throw in a Fibonacci extension here. Or is that going to go to the bottom? Oh, that's on the downside. I wanted the opposite. Huh. Oh, well. Or is it all the way up here somewhere? Yeah, it probably went down to the bottom, so I drew it in the opposite direction. That's okay. But basically, what we would be looking at is we'll be looking at a 60% rise from 1100, and a 60% rise from 1100 would add about $700 to this. So we're fairly close, actually. We would add about 1750, I would say. Yeah, so 1750, that would put us at about 1900. So we're getting close to some resistance points. So be careful here. Here is Bitfinex. You know what? Let's do bits. Let's do Brave New Coin Liquid Index. I haven't had time to update this on TradingView. I mean, this is where my arrow ended. So on this day, or tomorrow, I should say, right? Because that's where my circle is. Back when I published this chart in late January, early February, on May 10th, I expected the price to be at only 1500. Not, and today we're higher. Today we're above 1700. So we're like beating even my bullish expectations. MACD, new all-time high, RSI reaching astronomical levels here. I'm not gonna call a top. I didn't call a top right here when it was falling. I need something more substantial. Like unless I see it fall below 1500, I'm just gonna assume that it's, you know, buy the dip. Buying the dips. If you've been buying the dips, or there haven't even been any dips, because the reason there haven't been any dips is because everyone is scared to buy Bitcoin. Here is the Bitstamp channel, which I'm in the process of migrating. As you can see, we are peaking above the channel. It stopped us here. It's a tough call. I was afraid this day might come sooner than later, that we're hitting the top of the channel, and now decisions need to be made. Do you sell? Well, technicals say you take some profit here, but those are technicals, okay? I know we always talk about technicals. So technicals say take some profit, but here's what else technicals say. Things break above and below the channel. It happened right here, right there, right there, right there, and of course here, and a tiny bit there, right? We can break above the channel. We can break another 50, 60, 75 bucks. We may even go to 1900 on Bitstamp above the channel. But here's the thing, right? Like if we get to 2000 by the end of June, that's not going to be overbought. But if we get to 2000 tomorrow, that's going to be a little bubbly. Not like the altcoin bubble, but bubbly, getting there. So I would not short Bitcoin right here. Not yet, because I don't know where the top's going to be. But taking some profit at the top of the channel is very, very reasonable, because the last time it hit the top of the channel, it was less than 50% of its value. Wow, that's amazing. It feels like just a month ago, I was calling for a 760 bottom, and now we're 1,000 points higher. That is unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. And I don't even think we're in a bubble, because look at the kind of buying that took place on Bitstamp over here. Look at the buying that took place here, and we're just getting to that. And then if I jump on Bitfinex, buying up down there was huge. Buying over here was huge. Then there was big selling, and there's no buying. But granted, Bitfinex has some problems. And Bitfinex also touches the top of the channel. But all the metrics are good. And here's the other part, though, right? Look how much time we spend riding the bottom of the channel. We got to the bottom of the channel in August, and we rode the bottom of the channel all the way into December, 4 months. It's perfectly reasonable for us to ride the top of the channel for a few months into the summer, because I'm still looking at my August 14 time analysis target for a Bitcoin top. And I'll keep you guys posted on what I think is happening going into August. I'm already speculating on what's going to happen in August, because I don't think about what happened 3 or 4 days ago. I think about what's going to happen next. And what's going to happen next is Bitcoin is going to, SegWit is going to become more and more popular, but also Bitcoin is going to become harder and harder to use, because the blocks are, starting to get a little full, mostly because of spammers and mostly because of people thinking that it's a free notary service. And so thank God they have to pay some fees. And we'll see. Now, the altcoins are having their own freaking problems. I'm hearing all this stuff about Poloniex. I don't use Poloniex. I have no clue what's going on over there. All I know is Charlie Shrem said a comment during his presentation. I tweeted out that comment, and now people that clearly aren't very bright are blaming me and Charlie Shrem for the Poloniex problems. It's insane. It's completely insane. Here is the hourly chart, and I'm still using Bitfinex, so adjusted for your exchange. And we just literally broke all-time highs this hour while I was speaking. Amazing. I did say that last time I did this drawing, I believe we were right below this line, I would think. And I said we would break this line, and then we'd probably pull back to the line. We didn't pull back to the line this time, but we did hit resistance at this double top. And you all know my rules on double tops. They don't hold. So once we pulled back for a minute, broke out with a vengeance, and everything is ahead of schedule. Bitcoin's just going up faster than any of us can keep up with it. A little pullback would be nice. We got like a $50 pullback. And boom, it's going back up again. If we break 1800, I mean, it's probably going to go up. I'm really curious if we're going to come back and meet this channel. That would be completely nuts, because this channel, we left this channel because of Bitmain and Roger and big blockers when they scared the market with hard forking. And we're almost back to those levels, because guess what? If we get back into this hourly channel, that means that Bitcoin Unlimited is totally done. I mean, the market has confidence. All right, I'm going 30 minutes in. Let me just briefly talk about altcoins, I guess. Again, don't thank me. Thank the person that wanted to talk to me privately this morning. And we talked about Litecoin, and I pulled up my long-term chart of Litecoin. And I've had this line drawn for a while. This is a very strange double top because of this giant wick. So this can really go either way, but we got stuck right here at 0.18. And I still think Litecoin has some life in it. And I'll explain why in a minute. So I'm still a little more bullish on Litecoin than bearish, but it went up quite a bit, so a pullback is very possible. Here is the daily chart of Litecoin, and again, these pullbacks and breakouts were buy points short term, and we had this little pullback. I think it's significant enough. And if Litecoin breaks 0.02, then it can definitely go up to 0.08 and meet its double top. And I'm going to reluctantly say that if it meets this double top, there is even a chance it can break it. Anyway, it's going to get weird if Litecoin is doing so well. But guess what? If Bitcoin isn't adopting SegWit and Litecoin is, Litecoin speculation should do well. Even though Litecoin doesn't have much of a future long term, it has a future short term because it will be able to do something Bitcoin can't because it adopted SegWit and Bitcoin didn't. This is looking fairly good, the dollar chart, but Bitcoin is going up, so it makes it a little iffy. So all I got to do is extend this line right here. And then a break above this line, well, how much we got here? We got about $5. Yeah, so let's do that. So a break above this line takes you up about $5. 6 technically, because you're gonna break out at 30.5. Let's round 37.50. There you go, right? But just because Litecoin can go to 37.50 based on technicals, if we break that line, Bitcoin might be at 2,500, right? So your price in terms of Bitcoin may go down, but your price in terms of dollars will go up. So this is, gets weird. And of course, as usual, my favorite altcoin, here is, or hopefully everybody's favorite altcoin is Dash. And I guess I should go to my Twitter. This morning, I felt like trolling Dash a little bit. And there we go. They make fun of me because every time I say it's going to crash, it always goes against me. And then it starts to crash again. And I know I'm going to be right because Dash is, it's... by the way, yesterday, thanks to Alex Tapscott, I learned what a Rube Goldberg machine was. I honestly did not know. I did not know what a Rube Goldberg machine is, only because I'm too lazy to use Google. I've heard the Bitcoin Unlimited guys talk about Rube Goldberg machines, and I had no clue what it was. And I always felt like, you know what? If it's important for me to know what a Rube Goldberg machine is, I'll randomly find out one day. So thank you, Alex Tapscott. You taught me what a Rube Goldberg machine is. And the moment you explained what a Rube Goldberg machine is, I realized your whole presentation was about Rube Goldberg machines, with Ethereum being the most complicated Rube Goldberg machine that set up a platform for other Rube Goldberg machines. Awesome. So if other people are watching this, just like me, that did not know what a Rube Goldberg machine is, you can either Google it, or you can do what I did and learn it from Alex Tapscott's presentation from yesterday. Hopefully, it was recorded and it was posted. If not, I'm sure he's given this presentation at other places. So maybe you can Google for it on YouTube. And if you can't find it, then please, go ahead and Google it. And that's what my question was about. Unfortunately, by the way, big shout out to Mike in Space for posting me asking him the question. He did miss the first few seconds of me asking the question, where I introduced myself to Alex Tapscott as Tone Vase of the Crypto Scam podcast. And I thanked him for explaining to me what a Rube Goldberg machine was. And then I asked him to explain how his presentation was not about Rube Goldberg machines. And you should all hear his answer. Here's Dash. A picture does say 1,000 words, and it's not looking good. Let's just put it that way. These wicks, they're not a boost of confidence. They're a boost of desperation. And they're gonna be broken to the downside. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so on this note, I should have more live viewers now. Yep, up to 200 live viewers. If you are in Toronto and you would like to come out to dinner with us tonight at 5:30 p.m., please go to Bitcoin Bay Meetup, hang out with Tone Vase. It's at the Pearl King restaurant. Please RSVP so we have an idea of how big a table to get. Hopefully the restaurant can fit all of us, and that's what we are doing tonight. And also, please check out my Crypto Scam podcast about Ethereum. It's on the same YouTube channel. I don't have a picture. I'm not going to pull it up. So I have about 25 minutes for questions. Let me stop my screen sharing because I don't want to expose the chat window. And I will gladly flip the camera on. Let's see if that's working. Oh, I forgot to set up my HD camera. Ha ha ha. I guess we're going to a laptop camera. Let's see if that's working. There we go. Hey, old school, my old laptop camera. Excellent. All right, so let me jump onto your questions. I'm going to try and scroll to the top of the chat. It's possible the top of the chat is no longer there. If you want to ask questions, please start with a capital word question. It'll be much easier for me to find it, and I'll just go through them. All right. Oh, did we lose sound? Oh, maybe because I'm not speaking? Oh. Did I really lose sound? You did lose sound. Sorry. Hey, guys, can someone confirm? Is there sound? Is there sound? Sounds working. All right. Nope. All right, we're good. All right, back to questions then. Let me look for, I'm going to scroll back up here. Still looking for questions. Hey, if there's no questions, you guys are going to make it an easy time for me. End the video faster. I don't care what the webbot says. All right, here's a question. Is your opinion on, oh God, is your opinion on webbot from Cliff? I don't have an opinion. I don't know. I've never heard a single one of his videos. I don't care about webbots. I don't believe in AIs. I don't know. I mean, Martin Armstrong does similar stuff to Cliff High, I guess. I like Martin Armstrong's work, but I like him more as an economist, not as a trader. I don't recommend anyone following anyone else. Learn how to do this shit and follow your own advice. If you're having problems learning how to trade, learning how to do technical analysis, this is what the Tone-Based Consulting Service does. It'll help you read charts, but you should make your own decisions. You shouldn't trust other people to make decisions for you unless they are professional money managers that are managing your money. And choose those people carefully because 95% of them lose money. But so will you. Most traders do. It's very difficult to be a trader, guys. Don't listen to this nonsense of how easy it is. Last week, people were texting me, telling me how easy it is to trade altcoins because they're always going up. This morning, people are texting me how easy it is to make money in altcoins because they crash. It's like, come on, stop. Questions. Here we go. Next question. The hourly channel, I'm assuming, we left because of Bitcoin Unlimited. Can you please show the trend lines you used to create that channel? I'd like to know so I can plot it on my chart. So you know what? Maybe I'll just do better than that because I don't want to share my screen again. what I can do is, hopefully that person is still there. Because if you're not there to listen to the answer to the question, you will miss it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you my link. So you can just click on it and see it. So I'm going to just type it in the chat window there. And now you have it. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see what those trend lines were. All right, next question. It's clear that Bitcoin price defies logic. No, it's pretty logical to me. Do you think we can have the S-curve knee right? Yeah, we're not going to have the S-curve until we solve scalability, right? Because the S-curve means adoption, and Bitcoin isn't ready for mass adoption until we have not only SegWit, but Lightning, and not only have them, but have them working and tested and everything good. So we're just getting a little bubbly in the price of Bitcoin. But when you compare it to the altcoins, it's nothing. It's like a straight line versus exponential speculation in the altcoins. And if Poloniex really is, having serious problems, then all of these altcoins are basically gonna go down the drain, and all this money is gonna come back to Bitcoin, right? So I think there is Bitcoin is not even at bubble price land, but we're years away from S-curve adoption land, and we need SegWit and we need Lightning, and they need to work, right? I mean, it's very possible that I've been duped by Bitcoin Core, and it's possible that SegWit and Lightning get in, and it's something bad happens. It's highly unlikely, but it's a possibility. And then everything goes to zero, and then okay, there's a much higher probability of that happening if Bitcoin Unlimited is doing the coding, but anything's possible. Bitcoin is still very speculative. All right, next question. Do you think Bitcoin price could take a hit if... Oh, shoot, just lost my place in the chat. This chat window can be a pain. Oh, man, did I lose? What are questions? Hey, guys, I don't know where I am. Oh, here it is. Found it. Do you think Bitcoin price could take a hit if the ETF doesn't get approved after the review? No, I don't think it's going to take a hit. Does the rally have with the review of the... No, I don't think so. I think everyone knows that the ETF is not going to get approved. Now, I don't know how they're appealing it. If I was a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer, but if I was a lawyer, I would have pulled the Barry Silbert has a Bitcoin ETF. It trades like an ETF. It looks like a duck. It quacks like a duck. Why is that ETF allowed and my Bitcoin ETF isn't allowed? Like, that's what I would do if I was a lawyer, because it would be, I mean, if there already is GBTC that anybody can buy with Scottrade, why doesn't it have some competition? And why doesn't it have some more liquidity with the competing ETF? So there is a good argument to be made to push the ETF in, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think it would be very irresponsible for the SEC, right? Though the ultimate irony would be if one part of the SEC, let's say, approves the Ethereum ETF next year, and then 2 months later, another part of the SEC comes down and arrests everyone responsible for creating Ethereum. That would be the ultimate irony that is perfect. That would be just totally Bitcoin. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, guys, if I ask a question and like, is it sound okay? And like 3 people answer yes, like the other 85 people don't really have to answer. I kind of get the point. I don't know how to deal with an S-curve in my predictions. I've never really been involved in one. So it'll be dealing with S-curve mass adoption will be an adventure for all of us. Like I wasn't like a Facebook private shareholder or a Google private shareholder when the private shares start to go up exponentially. Like I've never experienced that. I have no clue. Banks adopt Ripple instead of Swift. They won't. Just go watch Crypto Scam Ripple. Am I golden hold like Adam Meister? Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if I want to answer that. Nice try though, James Bond. Can you talk about what NEM is? No, I don't. I don't want to talk about NEM. I'll talk about it in Crypto Scam. I just know NEM is so stupid that even the creator of NEM had given up on it until someone decided to, you know, help him pump it. Opinion on Ethereum. Please go watch Crypto Scam Ethereum. It's part 1. There will be more Crypto Scam Ethereum episodes, at least 2 more. Do you recommend getting out of Poloniex? Of course. I never recommended getting into Poloniex. What will happen if Bitcoin Unlimited is adopted instead of SegWit? It won't be. Is that good for Bitcoin? No, that's like the worst possible thing for Bitcoin. If there is even a whiff of thought that Bitcoin Unlimited is going to be the dominant chain, the price of Bitcoin will crash 80% and maybe more, because I will be out, Adam Meister will probably be out, all of us will be out. Like I'll be done. I'll be doing these videos about stock markets. If Bitcoin Unlimited is capable of hard forking Bitcoin, to me, Bitcoin has failed. How scammy is Ripple? I think it's pretty scammy. Again, go check out Crypto Scam Ripple. All right, your prediction on what would the price of Bitcoin be on 1/1/2018? I already did that prediction. Again, I'm too lazy to share my screen, but maybe I'll do it next time, or just scroll through my pictures on Twitter. My prediction for Bitcoin closing the year on January 3rd of this year, I was expecting a Bitcoin price high of around $2,000 in mid-August, closing the year between 1,500 and 1,750. So my prediction was 1,750 on the high end for January 1st of next year, and we're already beating it. So I don't know. I might have to revise that higher. We'll see. So, I mean, for now, I'm sticking with it. If Bitcoin goes down to the channel bottom or middle, what the questioner thinks, do you think alts will fall with it or go up again? I don't know. It depends on what is driving Bitcoin lower. If what's driving Bitcoin lower, more fear that Bitcoin Unlimited is going to take over, then a lot of that money may go into altcoins, propping them up. But what I think is more likely to happen is Poloniex imploding, and Bitter or Bittrex or whatever those other ones are. Like I see all of these lesser coins going away. I see all of these ICOs completely blown up. I see Ethereum being popped by the SEC. I see Dash, somehow scamming themselves and everyone else involved. I just see all of these problems in the altcoin space because that bubble is seriously get ready to pop. And that should drive Bitcoin higher. And then Bitcoin will just correct on its own. So I see the market cap of altcoins just going down like 80, 90%. And then Bitcoin will fall like 20% or something, 30% maybe. So I agree. I also think that Bitcoin will probably fall to the middle of the channel. I'm not really expecting Bitcoin to fall to the bottom of the channel unless the hard fork bullshit comes back, at us. Are you getting worried about Bitcoin bubble is starting to form? Not yet. I think there is reason to take profits in Bitcoin, but I don't see a bubble yet in Bitcoin. I see it in altcoins. I don't see it in Bitcoin. Do I have thoughts on DCR? I'm assuming DCR is Decred. I have absolutely no thoughts. No clue what Decred is. Since you see the Australian dollar going down against the US dollar, how do you see the Brazilian real? I don't know. I haven't looked at the Brazilian real. Maybe if I have time on my own, I'll look at it. But most likely I will need someone to pay a consulting fee, force me to look at it, and then I'll comment on it for everyone else. Do you know of Bitwage? Yes, I knew of Bitwage when they were launching. I've known Jonathan Chester for a while. Any thoughts? I think they're legit. I mean, I haven't seen their books. I don't know. I mean, they seem that I haven't heard of anyone being scammed by them yet. Seems reasonable. Yeah, I mean, it seems okay. So what Bitwage does is they reroute your salary. So if you have a job, you with direct deposit, you send the direct deposit to them, and then they convert it into Bitcoin and send you the Bitcoin. And they do it at a pretty good rate. I don't know, and this is after taxes, like your employer withdraws the taxes from you, and then you kind of like send them your check, and then they convert it into Bitcoin. So it's kind of hard for them to scam you because the moment one person it doesn't work for one person, everybody would know. And also, you're not keeping any money with them, right? They're basically converting your paycheck, and they're pretty. I mean, they're staying within the laws. They're trying to stay regulated. They're not doing anything illegal. So, yeah, I like the idea. They're one of the very few Bitcoin companies that seem to know what they're doing. If SegWit got activated, what's the next all-time high? I don't know. I'm guessing Bitcoin can go to 3,000 with SegWit activating. It seems reasonable, maybe higher, but seems reasonable. But don't forget, if we go to 3,000 without SegWit actually in there helping with the spam problem and with mining fee problems that they're so high, Bitcoin being 3,000 to 4,000 and your mining fee, by the way, people don't know this. Your mining fee is calculated by Satoshis per byte. So the more valuable the Bitcoin is, the more valuable one Satoshi is. So the higher the fee to send the Bitcoin. Add the fact that signatures need to be optimized, and blocks are kind of slowly getting full. Your fees are going to be skyrocketing in about 6 months without SegWit. So yeah, the price might be 3,000 to 4,000, but no one's going to be using Bitcoin. That's not a good recipe. That's a recipe of how bubbles pop. You do need SegWit if you want mass adoption. All right. Do you recommend Forex trading? Not really. Have you heard of iMarkets Live? I have not heard of iMarkets Live. So I think currency trading is kind of hard, but I also do it. But I do it for fun, and I do it through one broker. And this is the only plug I give sometimes, only because I use it. I throw on these $100 trades, nothing serious. So there is an affiliate code for one broker in my description to these videos. And it's a way for you to play around to see if you can be an effective currency trader by using Bitcoin to speculate on currencies. And you can make these, $20 bets, $30 bets, $100 bets, something small, because one broker is just like Poloniex, which is just like Cryptsy. It's an unregulated exchange that anything can happen at any time. Whoa, Bitfinex just broke 1,800 on Poloniex. Wow, not Poloniex, sorry, probably Poloniex too, but on Bitfinex. Amazing. Still 1750 on Stamp. Wow. But I also don't like bubbles, so I kind of half love it. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot less consulting calls. Man, my value just went up. I don't know if I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Very debatable. All right, let's see. Any more questions? I got about 5 minutes to go here. Questions. Okay, here we go. In a developing country to take advantage of Bitcoin and the blockchain movement to better their future economic prospects. I would just tell them to buy and hold Bitcoin, get out of poverty in their developing country, and then, build some businesses and create some jobs, or just help the economy. That's pretty much my only advice. It's hard. Like I wouldn't want to do anything. Like the only companies that are really doing well in the Bitcoin space are borderline shady, and I personally am not willing to do one of those companies, but other people are. The ETF proposed by the Winklevoss was declined by the U.S. watchdog. Wait, but aren't they supposed to announce that on the 15th? I didn't know that was today. I think that's the 15th. I was anti-GBTC several months ago. I do. It does. You're right. That's good. At least some people are paying attention. You know what? I will address this next time. But please repost your question or have somebody else repost the question. I will read the question and I will talk about it in more detail next time. You were anti-GBTC several months ago, but seem more positive now. What info changed your mind? Good question, and I will try to remember and address it next video. But if someone can repost that question for me, that'd be great. So Rich, if you're watching this and you're gonna help me with questions on Sunday, throw that question in there. Good, I like good questions, guys. What do you think of Ripple? Seriously? Again? No, go watch Crypto Scam Ripple. That's what I think of Ripple. It's on my YouTube channel. If you take a look at the Bitcoin order books, I don't look at order books, guys. They are very bullish. Is this a valid analysis? I don't think so. I don't like order books. And another good question. I don't want to get into it today. I think order books are kind of irrelevant. Rich, if you watch this later, the question and for next time, for me to explain why I ignore looking at the order book. Do you think a flash crawl is resolved? No, I think there's so few places to trade Bitcoin. If they resolve their issue, they probably once again become one of the 3 most trusted, respected exchanges to trade on. So people will keep their money there and trade. I don't think they're all going to go to Gemini. That seems to be the hot one these days. Do you think? Oh yeah, I read that one already. All right, next question. Man, questions just keep coming. All right, I got 3 more questions and then we're done. Are altcoins just a way for? Should probably turn my camera on. I'm probably sitting way too close to the camera here. Holsters of people to rob noobs into crypto. No, they're just gamblers. I mean, it's like saying, no. It's like there's so few professional poker players on the internet. Trade. See, this is the difference, right? There's a difference between people that trade altcoins that know what they're doing just to get more Bitcoin, and then there are people that are telling you that Dash is the greatest thing in the world, and Pivx is the greatest thing in the world, and Decred is the greatest thing in the world, and that they're going to surpass Bitcoin. These are the people that I find scammy. If a person is trading altcoins for a living and you know they're trading altcoins to get more Bitcoin and they're able to do this profitably, I have nothing against this person. Good for them. But I have people coming up to me at the conference telling me how smart they are because they bought the Ethereum crowd sale and they're telling me that Ethereum is going to go to $1 trillion market cap. These are the people that I think are complete morons. Now, if someone says, I traded Ethereum from $1 and I sold at 20 and then I got back in, at 10 and I rode it to 70 and then I sold it all and then I got back in and I rode it to 90 and now I'm selling again, waiting for a good buy. Like, great, you're probably a good trader, assuming that person told the truth. I mean, I have nothing against this person. I have nothing against the person who knows that Ethereum is bullshit and is a Rube Goldberg machine, but if he's able to profit from it, that's fine. I have nothing against that, right? But if the same person is suddenly all over the blogosphere trying to convince other people how great Ethereum is just so he can sucker them in, I no longer have respect for that person. It's somewhat simple, right? It's not. That's kind of my view on things. When you manage a diverse portfolio, how do you measure the performance of your portfolio? Yeah, I measure it against the S&P 500. Though the Dow Jones has performed historically better than the S&P 500, but I measure it against the S&P 500. How can Bitcoin Unlimited be the dominant chain if everyone is out? Well, if everyone is out and like 50 people are left, I mean, they become a dominant chain, right? It's not going to happen. They're done. They're done. I mean, I'm just waiting for Roger to run out of money. I mean, you can only, pay for people, trying to create a hard fork. Oh man, what's my favorite Bitcoin wallet? It's still Airbits, guys. It's just my most user-friendly wallet. It never failed me. All my other wallets have failed me at one point or another. I'm still Airbits. And Trezor for hardware wallets, Airbits for phone wallet. Now they let you ping to your own node. I still need to make a video about that. I don't have a favorite exchange because I don't ever put my Bitcoin on any exchange other than like one broker, right? One broker is the only one I use just so I can, trade traditional markets. And again, one broker, I have an affiliate code. Check that out if you are going to check it out. Risky exchange, just like Poloniex, just like Crypti. My little disclaimer. Ripple will take over Bitcoin. Excellent. Good luck. Put all your money in Ripple. No, I don't share my one broker trades. I'm just too busy to even like bother, and they're like random, and sometimes I forget about them. They're because they're small. I don't do that. I also don't want people to like actually follow my trading. I'm here more to educate. I'm not really here to. I'm not here to tell you when to buy and sell. I'm here to educate as to what the charts show and how I would be looking at something. You believe in core developers. So what are your thoughts on BIP 100 proposed by some core developers? I don't remember what BIP 100 was. Somebody will have to remind me of that. I'm too lazy to Google it right now. I'll need to get back to you on that. What are your thoughts on Monero? I don't have much thoughts on Monero. I don't think Monero's all that useful. It's not scammy, but I just don't think it's all that useful. And I'll be doing a crypto scam on Monero one of these days. Why Poloniex will implode? Well, why did Crypto implode? Because someone decides to run away with the money. There's nothing stopping them. This is an unregulated space. I don't know how many times I have to say that. Someone sees Dash going to 1,000. All right, good for you. I sure as hell don't. Yeah, you got to start your questions with like the capital word question, or I will easily miss it. What are your thoughts on N-Chain? I don't have any thoughts on N-Chain. I don't care what N-Chain is. Am I warranted to pay? Yes. Next question. Do you know about Uphold? I think so. Didn't they rebrand? Wasn't Uphold something else? I can't keep track of this stuff, so maybe I don't know. Where do you see it? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm still trying to figure it out. Unregulated exchange, unlike MF Global. Yeah, MF Global was a problem, but MF Global is an exception. MF Global is not the norm. In crypto space, almost everybody is an MF Global, right? Like, and the only reason why people from MF Global didn't go to prison was because the CEO of MF Global is friends with Obama. So that's the real problem. Can I do a crypto scam on Bitcoin Unlimited? Yeah, I want to. Need time. If you had a choice between silver or Bitcoin, oh yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, that's not even close. I mean, I'll have some silver. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'll have, like, let's say it's a 10-to-1 ratio of Bitcoin to silver. Value-wise, right? Not coin-wise, right? Like, it's, oh yeah, value and coin-wise, doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter at this point. I would want to have 10 times more Bitcoin than silver in dollar terms. What can you tell me about Bitcoin and identity theft? I don't have time to get into that. Just don't have any of your Bitcoin in connection with your identity. If someone steals my identity, they can't steal my Bitcoin because my Bitcoin is not connected to my identity in any way, shape, or form. What are my thoughts on, you know what, you'll have to ask your question. I don't have time to look at other people's charts at the moment. You know, maybe I'll glance at your link off hours. Someone asked me to look at something. I don't even know what it is. So I'm trying to get through like as many questions as you can because I'm already like 10 minutes over on my time. Right, this is it. Whatever's on my screen now, and then I'm done. What is the Polo problem? I'm not on Polo. Just log on to Polo and look at the troll box. They're having issues. I have no idea what they are. I just know they're having issues. At what point would you consider Bitcoin lead to be questions? Maybe Ethereum. You guys got to write your questions more clearly. If Ethereum has a higher market cap, I don't expect that to happen. What do I think of Gollum? I don't even know what Gollum is. I think nothing. I don't know what Updog is. Guys, come on, like normal questions. Between my trading and my travels and doing these videos, Bitcoin and crypto scam on important projects in Bitcoin, I don't pay it. I'm not an altcoin trader. I don't pay attention to nonsense. This is also the reason why I was late to Bitcoin, right? Like I wasn't buying it in 2010, 2011. It wasn't interesting to me. I knew about it, but it wasn't interesting. It became interesting in 2013 when Cyprus started to collapse. Yeah, I was late, but I wasn't wrong. All right, guys. On that note, thank you very much for watching. I almost got it done in 1 hour. If you're in Toronto, we're going to grab dinner tonight. Come out, reach out, and see you all on Sunday. And if you haven't seen Crypto Scam Ethereum, please check that out. If you want to see my question about Rube Goldberg machines to Alex Tapscott, please go to my Twitter. It was retweeted earlier today. Check that out. And a huge shout out to Sunny Ray and Toronto Meetup, which at next month or in 2 months, the next time they do it, will probably break 1,000 attendees, which is absolutely amazing. All right, guys, thank you. Good luck trading, and see you all on Sunday.